Hi, I'm Anthony Johnson, Senior Vice President at Mortgage Educators and Compliance, and today I'm here to tell you 7 tips to pass the NMLS National Test on your first attempt. Let's get underway. But first, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on our social media channels. We have lots of good information that we provide almost on a weekly basis. We're here to help you. The NMLS National Test, also known as the SAFE MLO test, is a difficult test. According to the NMLS annual report, about 51% of people pass the NMLS exam on the first try. That's not very high. The test draws from multiple subject areas to make sure you have learned the material for this industry. Okay, so you're going to be tested on different areas of the exam, and it's important for you to know those areas. And here's 7 study and test tips that we've come up with to help you pass on that first attempt. First, we need to understand the breakdown of how the test is structured. There's 120 total multiple choice questions. 5 of those are placebo or not graded, and so you are graded out of 115. You must get a 75% or better. All of the questions are multiple choice. There's none of the above or all of the above answers. Okay, so if you are practicing those exam questions that are none or all of the above, just so you know, there's none of those on the exam. One correct answer per question, and there's no multiple correct answers, okay? So I'll say that one more time. There's no multiple correct answers. So you're not going to be selecting A and B or B and C. You're going to be selecting just one answer out of the 4 possible answers. Random question allotment. You don't know the order or the selection from the approved topics. So you don't know where these questions are coming from on these topics. So let's get into the 5 topics that you're going to be tested on this national mortgage test. Topic number 1, federal mortgage related laws. These are laws such as ECOA, RESPA, FCRA. These are federal mortgage related laws that you're going to be tested on in a variety of different ways. So it's very important that you know the 14, 15 plus federal laws that you're required to understand so you can be better prepared for the exam. So that's 24% of the exam. Now, uniform state content, also known as the USC. This is a lot of times our students are confused about this topic, okay? The uniform state content is state-specific content, not to your state, but just related to states in general. There's 11% of the exam that's going to be on the uniform state content. In the early 2010s, they had a UST, a uniform state test component. This is different. This is not the UST. This is uniform state content that makes up 11% of your exam, and this is the content that you want to make sure to be aware of. It's different than a separate UST test, which was 25 questions. This is uniform state content. So uniform state content, it relates directly to state, not so much on a national or federal level. Okay, general mortgage knowledge. The third topic that you're going to be tested on, 20% of the exam is on general mortgage knowledge. Okay, these are maybe terms, these may be things that dealing with time frames. There's a lot of terms that you need to be aware of. So just make sure that you know that it's 1/5 of the exam, 20% on general mortgage knowledge. Now, mortgage loan origination activities. This is the biggest part of the exam, 27%. This is considered math. The math activities, this is word problems, this is things that you need to be aware of that you should be able to do with a standard calculator or writing it out. These are questions such as determining what your monthly payment is given these certain scenarios, or determining what is not included in pre-qualification. So do these types of activities and then you'll be right on track with mortgage loan origination activities. Again, 27%. The last area, the 5th area, is ethics. Ethics is 18%, okay? So ethical violations, maybe some of the questions you see. Ethical situations between title company and real estate professionals and yourself as a licensed loan officer. So as a licensed MLO, sometimes you need to know what is standard operating procedure, okay? What is licensed activity, what is not, what is in violation. These are all under ethics. Again, you do not know the order. So when you see a question on the exam, it might be pulling from ethics, it might be coming from the USC, it might be there might be several on federal mortgage related laws, or there might be a general mortgage knowledge. There is no specific selection order. It's randomly given. The person that you are sitting by that's also taking the national mortgage test, it may be a completely different test than what you are taking. So just be aware this is a random selection. All right, so we've identified 7 tips to help you pass the mortgage loan originator test. Okay, this is a national test. Again, this is what is required in every state. There's no state exams. So here's 7 tips, and I hope you really internalize these tips, apply them in your preparation to pass the test. Okay, test tip number 1, read the root. What does that mean? Well, the root of the question. Okay. First, read the root, meaning make sure you understand the base of the question. Look out for double negatives or other twists in wording before you consider the answer. Especially for the mortgage loan originator activities or the math questions, be wary of the extra information. They're trying to throw you a curveball, try to get you on a different path that the question provides that you don't need to solve the problem. Okay, so be aware. So read the root of the question, and then that root of the question is going to help you determine the correct answer. So here's an example. In an effort to become an informed borrower, each borrower should receive from the lender all of the following except, okay? Now remember, except is a key word. So that's saying that in this question, there's A, B, C, and D, the real estate purchase contract, A, B, the loan estimate, C, the home loan toolkit, or D, the 1003. Okay, so in an effort to become an informed borrower, each borrower should receive from the lender all of the following except what? In this specific question, all of the following, well, the loan estimate is going to be sent, the home loan toolkit, and the 1003, which is the application. That's all going to be sent from the lender. The real estate purchase contract is not going to be sent from the lender. So remember the root, what is being sent, and then the question, the key word, except. So remember, these questions need to be, you need to analyze what you're being asked. What is the root? Okay, so all of the following except what? Here's another example of reading the root. On an FHA annually adjusting ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, assume that the starting rate was 5%. The margin is 2.5%. The index in 12 months is 3.5%. What is the borrower's interest rate in 18 months? Okay, so there's a lot of ways we can go. The correct answer is B, 6%, but make sure you analyze it, read through it, write it out. So in the test, you are allowed to have scratch paper, or what they do is they give you a laminated piece of paper that you can make notes on. So ask for that paper when you first check in to Prometrics Testing Center, but I always recommend that you write it out, write out the problem and identify the root. Test tip number 2. Know your numbers. On the test, the NMLS will try to confuse you. I mean, this is a difficult test, okay? So for example, under the SAFE Act, if you fail the NMLS test, you must wait how long? At least 30 days to take it again. After the 3rd time, you must wait 180 days before challenging the test again. The test might come at you with a question like this. After failing the test a 3rd time, how long must you wait to take it again? A, 1 month, B, 2 months, C, 6 months, or D, 10 months. Okay, so the answer is C, 6 months, but notice that the possible answers are not in days like the law states. You must convert what you know from the law, 180 days, into months. This is a small and simple example, but this is what happens during the test several times. Okay, identify, know your numbers, know what's going on, be able to translate that days into months. Identify what the question is referring to, and by doing so, you're going to be on the right track. So know your numbers, okay? There's a lot of questions on the test that are going to be related to the amount of time you have to get licensed, to renew your license, that the CD is issued, that the loan estimate is issued, okay? Know your numbers. Know the numbers. Test tip number 3, okay? Immediately eliminate incorrect answers. Okay, this is overall in testing, and it's been shown by several studies that if you quickly eliminate the incorrect answers, you have a better chance of getting that answer correct, okay? So use this to your advantage. If you know an answer is wrong, then rule that out right away. The more answers you rule out, the far better chance you're going to be finding the right answer. So, for instance, let's do an example. You and the borrower believe in an adjustable rate or an ARM would be best for the borrower. What is the name of the booklet you are required to give? So, is it the RESPA booklet, D? Is it Fair Lending Practices, C? Is it B, ARM disclosure? Or is it A, Charm booklet? Well, right off the bat, RESPA booklet, not happening. Fair Lending Practices booklet, okay? If there's booklets that you have never heard of, it's probably not that answer. So go ahead and cross those off and eliminate them. B, the ARM disclosure, or the correct answer is Charm booklet. But let's say that you got it down to A and B, okay? So you have a 50-50 chance. All right, test tip number 4. Look for clues in the question, okay? Look for clues in the question that suggest the correct answer or rule out any choices. For example, if the question indicates that the answer is plural, you can rule out any answer that are singular. Okay, so there are, in any test, especially with the National Mortgage Test, there are clues. Look for those clues, identify those clues, and then base that on your answer. Okay, the basic rule is the correct answer must make sense grammatically with the question presented. Options which fail this test can be ruled out. Okay, so another test tip, look for those clues to help you get the right answer. Test tip number 5. And I stress this over and over again, almost on a daily basis with all of our students. Use the NMLS National Test content outline. The NMLS provides as a free resource the National Test content outline. Okay, so this is a document, it's about 9 pages long. It breaks down those 5 topic areas into subsections. I cannot stress it enough. Use this free resource that the NMLS provides. The NMLS provides this National Test content outline, and below the 5 topics that you're tested on, which have subsections, they also have a reference list. This gives you links and resources online that it pulls the question from. So the NMLS is giving you the roadmap. They're giving you this content outline for you to study. And when I hear students that have never heard of it or quickly reference it or quickly go through it and they don't use it, I think you are really missing a great opportunity to help you pass the exam. Use that national content, the test outline. It will help you. Okay, so the reference list, I would recommend going through each and every one of those reference list links. Visit the website it's pulling the information from. So for instance, RESPA, it has a whole bunch of content and a whole bunch of resources about RESPA, and that is the raw content where the NMLS is making their test questions from. I would make that your own outline, okay? Make notes on it. Is there, highlight it, circle things. I mean, turn the page over, make some notes on it. Is there anything on those topics that you're confused about, that you're unaware of? You know, sometimes we get questions from students and they say, well, I never heard about appraisals in your course, or it just briefly went through it. Or what about timing restraints for a certain type of loan programs? All of it is on the outline. And then it doesn't mean that you're going to be tested on every single line in the outline, but you might be tested. So use that national test outline, and remember the reference list. Okay, the reference list is right below all of the topics breakdown, and that has links that you can go to. So it's online. It's provided in all of MEC's material for testing and test prep, as well as our 20-hour pre-licensing class. So we provide that content outline, but know this outline and know it well. This is one of the biggest tips that you can have as a student to help pass the national test. Know that NMLS National Test Outline. All right, test tip number 6, learn the content, understand the content, be able to apply the content. Don't just memorize correct answers, okay? Practice exams are one way most people deem that they are ready to go and challenge the actual exam. They'll say, yeah, you know, I've gone through your test prep and I've gone through your practice questions. I'm good to go because I'm getting 80-90%. But then when we ask them specific questions, well, tell us a little bit about TILA, or tell us a little bit about ECOA. Tell us about FCRA. Tell me about how a balloon payment works. They're unable to answer because they've memorized the questions, okay? So this is a big slip up, which we have seen with our students that we want to correct. We want you to learn the content, be able to apply it, be able to explain it to somebody. That's one of the best ways to comprehend what you learn is not only study it, learn it, and then teach it to someone else. Apply it to someone else. Share what you've learned, okay? So the truth is, no school knows the questions which are going to be on the NMLS National Test. I'll repeat, no provider, education, school in the mortgage business knows the questions, okay? The NMLS owns the questions. They don't release past exams or questions. So what you're going to have to do is know and learn the content, okay? So learn that content, okay? Be able to use that test outline and be able to explain in detail what it's referencing. Learn the content. Okay, study tip number 7, be prepared, okay? Spend the extra time. Go through all the resources and the materials that you can and test yourself. Practice over and over again, okay? Be prepared. Don't show up to the exam and be sitting in your car and trying to go over the test questions and, well, you don't know this area and I'll just give it a try. That is a recipe for failure, okay? It will save you time. It will save you money. If you go into that first attempt and you've prepared properly, and what I mean by prepared is after you take the pre-licensing 20-hour and your state electives, spend another 20, 30 hours plus studying for the national test. When you study for the national test with that type of dedication and confidence, you're going to be prepared to go into that test and pass on your first try. We know you can do it. This is after thousands and thousands of students that we've gone through. We've identified that preparation is the most important part of passing the national test on the first try. Those who are not prepared and those who do not spend the time and effort, what happens is they're gonna spend another $110, which is the national test fee. They have to wait 30 days. Their employer's wondering, well, is this person really serious? Do we have to wait? It pushes everything back. Think about the time, not just the $110, but think about the time. If you're not prepared, it could push your employment, it could push your future career back. So be prepared. You have the tools, you have the resources. Mortgage educators and compliance, we're here to help you. We want you to pass because we want you to be a student of MEC for life. So make sure to follow us on all social media channels, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're here to help you. If you've got questions and concerns, give us a call. Our phone number, 877-403-1428, or visit our website, mortgageeducators.com. We pride ourselves on dedicating our resources, our time and effort into helping you. Once you pass that test, breathe that big sigh of relief. You're just at the bottom of the mountain, though. So get to that point. Here's 7 tips that will help you pass on the first try. Good luck, and thanks for tuning in.